Be careful what you ask for, guys. You just might get it. Greetings. My name is Monette. This is my channel, Evolve with Monette. For those of you that are new here, I am a professional intuitive empath. It's so good to share energy with you today. Come on in. Thanks for inviting me in. Have a bit of a stay. Let's chat. You saw the title. You know what we're about to do. But we're about to do a little bit more than I think some other people are doing regarding the subject matter. I've seen a lot of video essays and think pieces, and I've just seen the titles floating around. And moreover, I saw the video with the ladder. Y'all, there's so many lessons inside of this lesson. We're going to be talking about SAFAREE, Nicki Minaj's ex-boyfriend, and ERICAMenas, his ex-wife, and now apparent enemy in chief. There is so much to be said about them, and so I'll definitely disclaim with a lot of allegedlys, but as a metaphysical practitioner, by the way, if you're interested in working with me, you can find my information in the description box below. Not medical, I'm not the doctor. I'm on some Alanis Morissette. I don't want to be the doctor. As a metaphysical practitioner, this one is rich and ripe for the teaching. This is what these celebrities sign up to do, is to be teachers on the grand scale so that we can learn a thing or two. So let's learn tonight. SAFAREE and Erica, in my opinion, it's what happens when two narcissists cannibalize one another, okay? SAFAREE is definitely more covert, the way that I see it. Erica is overt and unapologetic. Malignant, even. Allegedly. You know, I can't diagnose anybody. And I know that word narcissist is making everybody want to, like, vomit because we've used it so much. But, man, if you want to see what narcs look like, that's what it is. That's what it looks like. But I want to talk about a few different themes here. I want to talk about karmic women. I want to tell you that if you ever had a karmic take your man or have someone choose up over you, that they chose the archetype of ERICAMenas. I utilize Archetype decks here by Carolyn Miss, and you can't make this up. What I just pulled out was child wounded. These two have inner child wounds. Let's look at what the shadow attribute is. Blames all dysfunctional relationships on childhood wounds, resists moving on through forgiveness and growing up. The positive attribute, light attribute, awakens compassion and desire to serve other wounded children, opens the learning path for forgiveness. Listen, my angels are teaching the lesson already. What I just heard is this is the narcissistic empath dynamic. Literally, the light attribute is the empath. From our childhood wounds, from our other wounding, we want to teach, heal, and help the world. And we're dealing with narcissists who were wounded, who want to eat, kill, and destroy the world. You got it? Look at the angels. They are on it. Anyway, so let's talk about it. If anybody has ever taken your woman or taken your man, I'll take your man right out the box and put him under my padlock. I'll take your man. Hey, you got to be of a certain age to know that song. 80s babies, are you with me? So if you have ever had someone that delighted, you know who else is coming to mind? Actually, Ariana Grande, Mrs. Break up with your boyfriend cause I'm bored, and she just can't not take people's man. There's something going on with the wounding inside, allegedly. Don't come for me, Ariana fans, allegedly. Even y'all are wondering about Ethan, allegedly. Okay? Y'all know what I'm saying. So in any case, even y'all are like, we don't know. We love her. That's the mother, but we just don't even I know. I hear you. We're not co-sided. I know. That's what I'm talking about. That's wounding. Okay. That's the evidence of wounding. Nevertheless, when someone's like, I'm going to take your man, and they delight in that competition, first of all, they're operating out of a spirit of lack. Okay. Second of all, that's one thing. But when I'm talking about the ERICAMenas archetype, ERICAMenas is operating out of a masculine energy. There's so much talk on all of the podcasts and all of everybody that has a microphone is talking about masculine and feminine and fit and friendly and all the rest of it. Well, there was a whole thing in the Black community where women were dealing with their wounds of being rejected by the men in our community because they were saying that we were too aggressive, we were not fit and friendly, or whatever the case may be. That other women women of other ethnicities were more submissive and more whatever the case may be. So there's so many layers to this, because we are seeing that she is all the things that they said they wanted in the more exotic pick, outside of the race of the color of them or the ethnicity that they're from, being SAFAREE, being a West Indian man, with a mother that looks like him with beautiful skin like his. But he wanted a different kind of plane. And that's okay. We all have our preferences, right? But that preference we're all watching is mollywopping and dragging him. And it's not to say that SAFAREE hasn't given as good as he got. He certainly has done a lot of mind games and playing too. But it's two narcissists cannibalizing each other, so that's another factor. But the thing is, for those of you that have wounding around a third-party karmic dynamic, the energy that you're watching ERICAMenas operate out of is exactly the energy that might have taken your man or taken your woman. But I want you to see the other side of it and how it goes rogue. In the beginning, oh, it's all delicious. Up in the club, they be working on their fitness, up in the gym, whatever. They be working, and the sex is hot, and it's amazing, because a woman that's operating out of the ERICAMenas archetype is a woman who will be aggressive, actually. But because she looks how she looks, she may get some passes. And she got a lot for free from not just our community, but the populace at large, essentially. And this is a thing that can happen depending on what level of attractiveness that you're at. So she benefits a lot from a lot of pretty privilege and the rest of that. And she has a problem with people that are black. I know you're like, but her baby's father is, and her ex-husband is. But listen to the words that she speaks. I can't go into the whole history if you I don't watch all the shows, but I pay attention to when something's popping up in the culture. That's a lesson that we should know. And there was an interaction that she had with Spice, who's another West Indian, another beautiful West Indian talented artist, and she called her a monkey. She couldn't wait to call her a monkey, because Erica doesn't identify and see herself as such, meaning she doesn't see her features as the typical phenotype that's associated with African or West Indian Americans. In any case, that's a whole nother think piece for another day, but I want to get more into the romantic, alleged romance here, there's no romance here, dynamic, and the other things that are at play. ERICAMenas is the archetype of a masculine woman, and when let's say let's say you were married to somebody, right? They start to have an affair with someone at the office. The person at the office, I don't care if they're the most svelte, petite, magical person, a skinny legend. If they are that, and they're beautiful too, I don't know what that noise was. If that may be confirmation from my angels. If they are that, and they are beautiful too, their beauty and their fitness and their petiteness does not relegate them to feminine or masculine. It's the energy. That's what I'm working with as a practitioner, and that's what I'm reading as a professional intuitive empath. It's the energy of people. So what she will do, and I've seen this happen because I counsel clients around the world about this, and I've talked to so many couples that have had this happen, is they will start to pursue. Now, we hear all the time now that we attract. If we're in our Empress energy, our High Priestess energy, we're attracting, right? Well, the girl at the office that wants your man or your woman is not attracting. She is pursuing, which means what energy is she in? Say it with me, boys and girls. Masculine. Because masculine pursues, right? Masculine goes after. Masculine is a conquistador. We, as feminine energies, are the receivers, right? So I want you to erase some of the feminism here, but just go with me, okay? Just follow me. I'm going to take us somewhere. So that woman, no matter how cutesy and demure she may look on the outside, inside is a man-eater, okay? And she's determined to have what she wants to have in whatever way. And she will have it, and that means she'll play some games you wouldn't play maybe, and she'll do some lascivious things you wouldn't do, but it's all to take your man from you. Break up with your girlfriend because I'm bored, right? She's on that type of timing. And she's bored because she needs something to do, because her life doesn't fulfill her to a certain degree. So having what you have would make her very, very happy. Sometimes people don't even want what you have. They just don't want you to have it as a matter of a game. It's really for sport. So that same energy that's fun in the beginning, and that's hot sex, and that's a BJ in the closet, and that's sex on the side of the road, and that's a fight. I'm channeling that song, I always fall for your type, Jamie Foxx. It's that kind of like toxic, high-pitched, high-fevered relationship. And that may die down, and the guy that's seeing her or the girl that's seeing her may think, I've domesticated this person finally, but oh, that was so hot, and this is the way it will always be. No. What it will turn into is what we're watching, which is ERICAMenas scaling a ladder. Where does she get the ladder from? It's the freaking $1 million question to me. Scaling a ladder and breaking and entering, attempting to anyway, throwing glass, disregarding the welfare of her children. That's not to say SAFAREE's innocent. So I'm going to talk about that too, and how your man, if your man was taken from you, how they played into being took. They wanted to be took, sis. I'm sorry. We're going to have to tell some inconvenient truths so that you can heal this. So, or that you can at least be aware of it, or if you've avoided it altogether, you could be amused. Okay? So, she now takes all of that masculine energy that he was unwilling to see because she was feminine and friendly. And that was such a turn on to him because, oh, he was being pursued back, and oh, she was hot, and you're boring, right? You're an empress energy, you loving on somebody, knowing their everything, knowing their familial issues, know that they're left toastings on a Thursday, all that, still love them in your special way. But then this girl comes in, or this woman comes in, but she's masculine. And that means that you were dealing with someone who was weak AF. Whoever your masculine archetype was that you were with was weak because they wanted to be swept off their feet. Okay, the roles had been reversed. But then what happens is it's the gift and the curse. You give someone that kind of power, and the masculine woman now will devour what's in front of her. And that's what we're watching happen with SAFAREE. Now SAFAREE's like, where do I turn this off at? Wait a minute. I didn't expect her to be this intense. I didn't think it would still be going on. Well, let's talk about why it's still going on too. There were some admissions in both of their little videos that they're both still sleeping together to a certain degree as of this year still. To whenever. I don't know when exactly. But they're still sleeping together. And that's why they're both still absolutely crazy. And she's crazy. Also, there's another layer to this too. What we're witnessing too is what happens when a love spell backfires, allegedly. From my years of experience, it is very clear to me that there is definitely love spell energy that is involved inside of this relationship. Either he did it, she did it, one of them did it, maybe they did it to each other, because sometimes two crazy people, especially two narcissists, will think, I want to possess you and own you to the nth degree. And I don't know if you guys realize this, but narcissists are very, very, very enchanted with dark work and left-hand path magic, because they love the idea of being ultimately in control of everything. They don't believe in God, they are God, and as far as they're concerned. And so, or they don't believe in higher power energy, whatever you couch it as, even if you don't, come from Christianity, whatever the case is, you understand source in the universe and there's something greater at work to whatever degree. In any case, none of that matters. It's all about me, as far as a narcissist is concerned. And so they really dive into the Aleister Crowley work and all of that because they want to learn how they can totally consume and possess someone. Very much scorpionic energy in the lower vibration, or scorpionic energy, period. Because when we're dealing with scorpionic energy, we're dealing with possession, other people's finances, other people's people, OPP, OPP, hey, you know me, we're going all the way back. So we're dealing with other people, and we're dealing with obsession and jealousy and just taboo and the occult, literally. So when you're watching these toxic relationships, they are infused with scorpionic energy. If you were to do a tarot reading in the tarot, there are many cards that represent scorpionic energy, and one amongst them is the Tower. The other is literally death, transformation, and rebirth. The Seven of Cups, which is multiple choices, triangulation, all of that. The Three of Swords, that's all scorpionic energy to a certain degree. So you're dealing with just cataclysmic drama in those kind of dynamics. But that's what whomever maybe you were dating or loved wanted. They wanted to be pursued. They wanted to be swept off their feet. They wanted to put on their little lacy jam-jams and have that man girl take them to a new land, a Peter Pan land, right? Well, it's all fun and games until the love spells start to backfire. Many years ago, I've told this story here on the channel before, but for those of you that are new, I painted murals and I painted a mural in a bodega for a woman who was in Orisha. And I was dating somebody, and I liked this guy, and I was like, I was watching all these people. It was new to me, watching all these people come in and buy these candles, the penis candles, the yoni candles, y'all know. And I said to her, I'm going to buy one. I would like to buy one. At the end of my little shift that day, I was like, I'd like to buy one of these candles. And she was like, no, that's not what you're called to do. You have a calling over your life. Now, I already knew, and I was already starting to work in it, but she could see it. And she did left hand path magic, truly. Like, she was doing full ass voodoo rituals in the back of the shop, okay? And she told me no, that was never for me. And she also explained the mechanism of the love spell energy. She said, don't do it, because if you do it, what happens is you will cage the person's soul, and they may not fall in love with you, but they will feel betrothed to you. And it will become very insidious and toxic. And then what will happen is they turn murderous. That's the quickest way I can explain to you that 20-minute conversation we had that day. And she said, and what that means is that people usually unalive whoever put the spell on whomever. So watch this space, unfortunately, and see who's heightening, and who, if you're watching these videos of someone scaling ladders and whatnot, and I know that SAFAREE definitely has an agenda to come out and look like he's squeaky clean, and he is not, but what I'm telling you is, I have a very strong feeling, allegedly, allegedly, that Erica did a little bit of her own kitchen witchery, and it wasn't for the good. But any case, and let me tell you what Mr. SAFAREE was doing. He was putting that D on her, and he was doing word spells. So any of us that are adults here, it's 18 plus, we all have had sex. You know what it is when you're talking shit to your partner. Well, certain dudes will talk to you in a certain kind of way. Certain kind of F-boys, and if ever there was an F-boy archetype, let's say SAFAREE is the poster child, right down to the deep print, right? So right down to the eggplant. SAFAREE literally has, like, what didn't he girl, y'all know what I'm saying. He did the thing, he put it in the thing. You could buy him at somebody's store. He did his print. He imprinted himself. Y'all know what I'm saying. He made himself into a sex toy. Because there's not enough SAFAREEs in the world. My point in saying this is this. He was in her ear talking all that crazy shit. They were fighting and fucking to make up. I always fall for your type, right down to the shattered glass. And if you ever have seen that video, you know exactly what I'm saying. And then they'll make up at night. And the makeup is crazy, wild, animalistic, primal sex. And that's happening too, partly to alleged. This is just all my opinion, allegedly, okay? So y'all could call me crazy. But if you've ever lived any of these or watched any of these scenarios play out, you might see that there is some truth that is here. And all of that's happening, but he's all in her ear. Here comes a brand new flavor in your ear. He's all in her ear talking that shit, da-da-da-da-da. You imagine what it is, okay? And then also then taking breaks and playing mind games, because that's what narcissists will do. Silent treatments, triangulations. I'm going to sleep with this other bee in front of you, Amara La Negra, beautiful as she is. Also, that was just to incense Miss ERICAMenas, who has admittedly been called a colorist. Literally got kicked off the show for a bit, had a whole thing with Spice, had Monica, what is her name, Mona, apologizing on the behalf of the franchise, even though she's always been a colorist. My point is this, so that's why, SAFAREE may have been naturally attracted. SAFAREE likes to put his penis everywhere, very much Knight of Wands energy if you read tarot, very much King of Wands, he is Gaston if ever. But the thing about it is he knew too that Mara being so black that she's blue in the most amazing way, meaning if I could dive inside, I love Amara La Negra. I think she's like freaking like a Barbie. She's juicy and delicious and magical to me. However, that would drive Erica crazy. Someone who hates and is a hater, to see your man get with someone who is greater in amazing ways that you could never be, that would ruin up your whole life and destiny. So I really believe, just in my opinion, allegedly, that Erica definitely put some spell work onto SAFAREE. But here's how it backfires, because the Orisha never lied to me. It makes you, the person who puts it on, absolutely crazy, and then it causes all this friction between the two of you, where the person that you put it on doesn't even want to be with you. They're repulsed by you. They are disgusted by you. They feel like you just start fights all the time. All that masculine energy that was freaky and fine in the beginning when they were on demon time, and all that sex was hot and popping, and they were HOTTOGO. She was always ready, hot to go. That turns into go away from me. Get thee behind me, Satan. And you see SAFAREE talking like an exhausted man. And yes, it's definitely contrived and played up because SAFAREE is an actor. But to a degree too, I do believe he's on some enough is enough, because he's probably exhausted, because she's a walking disaster. Allegedly, not allegedly, obviously go watch the videos and see for yourself. Keyword ladder. That's insanity to me. And so what I will tell you is this. You are watching the implosion of two narcissists, okay? Neither one is better than the other. As a West Indian woman, my mother would always say to me and my brother, when we would do but my brother did this, but my sister did that, but he did this, but she did that. She would say to me, and I never understood it till later, Sungu no better than Lungu, meaning you both are the same. Sungu no better than Lungu. You both are exactly the same kind of treacherous, just in different ways. That was what my mother was saying to me. And in the case of Erica and SAFAREE, Sungu is no better than Lungu. They are both come from a similar narcissistic, self-absorbed, selfish cloth. And Erica, just in my opinion, from what I have observed and what I've heard, and from her own son's testimony, not just what SAFAREE said, but by the fact that her first son didn't even want to be on the show, has struggled with attaching to motherhood. And, you know, the compassionate empath practitioner in me can say, let's examine the wounding there, right? Let's talk about what happened that she didn't. Was there some postpartum that happened when she first had him? Did she never get help for it? Did she not connect? But the thing about it is Erica is just filled with so much rage and disrespect that I cannot break my neck or stick out my neck to try to assess the internal tempests that are consistently raging. She's unhinged. And that's not just my opinion. That's not just conjecture. Go watch the videos. You can see for yourself. She's the definition of textbook unhinged, on some mommy dearest, so manipulative, so calculated. Nothing is about those kids at all. And that's all I care about. As a retired teacher, that's what I care about. I care about, are you loving those children that agree to the soul contract to come through you, that you agreed to bring through, and you all brought them through for vanity because you were caught up in the caught up in the rapture of effery of narcissism, and then all of a sudden now you have two kids and real responsibilities, and the love is gone, but the passion is still strong because that spell work caused this now seemingly unbreakable bond. And the bond is now a prison sentence because of that karmic that was moving in masculine energy now is moving in, I will end you if you're not going to be with me. And that can be reversed. It's not all about a woman being the one. We're not doing that. I very much pay attention to the Lilith energy here. Feminine rage is real for a reason. Bitch fires happen when necessary. But men can be the same. They can get obsessed with somebody, and we see it all the time. Men, unalive, our poor, beautiful feminine energies at a rate that is so alarming, it takes the breath from me. So, and that happens with this obsession, the same thing. Flip it and reverse it. Sungu is no better than Lungu. But what we're watching is some of the worst of it, and it's only going to escalate from here. Because what these two have to now do is figure out how to co-parent and how to both coexist. And what happens when someone starts dating someone else? SAFAREE's in her DMs. Who are you talking to? She's popping up at his house on the ladder. Who's inside your house? It's insanity. And it's not something that can be maintained. So if you're the one who got walked away from or chose up on, you better say thank you. Thank you, God. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, universe. Thank you, source, for setting me free. Thank you for letting me be from these two people that are absolutely crazy. Because you think you lost something. No, what you did was you opened up new pathways for someone who is actually compatible with you, who will actually value you to come in, and who doesn't want you to live on the edge of insanity and on the edge of non-glory, to become an inglorious bastard and live in infamy like these two want to. Just for a piece of moment of fame, just for that hot payoff of sex that lasts a few seconds, and now I want to kill, I'm sorry I keep saying that, but unalive you, because Erica's allegedly, I hope this video doesn't age badly, but I have a feeling about these two. That's all I'm going to say. Y'all fill in the blanks. I have a feeling about how this ends. This is not going to be like Nicki Minaj just leveling up and leaving and being like, oh, SAFAREE was a fool, and him stalking her at the concert recently, because that's another thing. That's another beautiful story about how you can have, there are some people that have been in your life that didn't know you were Nicki Minaj. Let's just say that, right? And didn't know how you were going to level up. and didn't know that your glow up was just on the way. And for Nikki, it's, you know, in an explosive way. But it's a fantastic metaphor and story to observe. And now, all these years later, after his mother and his sister said, oh, she doesn't know her worth, she's lazy, da-da-da-da-da-da. But no, she had a destiny. And her destiny was very, very, very specific. It wasn't to work at Red Lobster like she once did. It wasn't to just do what everyone else did. They had stations in life. She had a destiny. And she chose her destiny in spite of what they said and their hateration and holleration and him playing with her head, because he was playing with her head too and cheating on her too. All of that. But she had other soul work to do on some Empress type shit. That's what I'm talking about. You guys have been in the Nicki Minaj position. People had taken you for granted and you were right under their nose, hidden in plain sight. And they were playing with you, sis, and acting like you could never be right, get right, that you didn't know what was going to happen in your life. And then you level up in front of them, away from them. And guess who they are? They're SAFAREE at your concert, still trying to be your friend. Hey, big head. You know, the end of the year is coming and I've just been thinking about us. Oh, I bet you have. I bet you have been thinking about us. But in God, we empresses trust. Or in Source Universe, you do you, boo. Okay? I'm not going to force anything on you. But I'm going to tell you, for me, that's what I do. And now they want to sneak around like SAFAREE talking about, I'm proud of you. I bet they are proud of you. They always knew you had it in them. But when they were telling you that you were not shit, but gum on the bottom of their shoe, and they didn't understand the spiritual assignment that you had to do, and they were never destined to come with you. I loved watching him have to bring bodyguards to the concert because her fans would have tear his ass out the frame if he was by himself. Also, he's there dancing and being a stan. Now he's Nicki's #1 fan, when he used to be able to sleep in the bed with her and was actually her man. Whew, people will fuck it up, man. They will fuck up the church's money. Shout out to Funky Dineva. They will fuck up the church's money. He had it all in the palm of his hand in a relationship with someone who was going to evolve and evolve. And he got to benefit because she was light as Empress energy. And he got to be blessed and live well and dress well and fly for free on these private planes, actually. Mile high in the sky. And now he's renting a 2-bedroom condo and hoping that he doesn't see his masculine karmic ascending the ladder to try to take his life, allegedly. It's funny, I think Nicki recently clapped back and said, good for you. She said Erica wanted to destiny swap with her. This is one of my favorite things. It's been so beautiful to watch this play out because there's been a lot of talk lately in the zeitgeist about destiny swapping. I've had it happen. People have had it happen. I've had a lot of clients recently talking about it. Everyone's talking about it. Just Google Destiny Swap on in these YouTube streets, and you're going to see a lot of information about it. And it's so funny because she wanted Nicki's life, kind of like Hailey Bieber wanted Selena's life. Be careful what you ask for. You got it. You got it. You got her life. But it was a life that Nicki would have lived if she was relegated to a station and she didn't listen to her calling to follow her destiny. Now, I know we could talk about that whole other subject matter regarding other choices that Nicki's made. That's not my point. My point is watch what Empress Energy did. Now, whoever is around her has it made quite literally in the shade. And I say that specifically. While Nicki's last name is Petty and she loves it and lives up to it, Empress energy and empath energy specifically is an umbrella of covering for whoever is adjacent to us. We will bless those that we love. We are benevolent queens, as Nicki once said, and we are kind, and we don't let it go to our head, no matter what people think or project onto us. And so anybody that's under the empath umbrella is protected and blessed. And that's why if you have people that are at your neck, get them out from under your umbrella, because just you cutting off people stops them from that empath and angelic protection. Because it's not our protection. What's above our umbrella are our angelic, spirit team. It's our ancestors that are watching out for us and watching us like Netflix. It's that, sis. And so when someone is up underneath our umbrella, even if they're being disrespectful and we know it, as long as we allow them proximity to us, they will be blessed and not as stressed as they probably deserve to be if they were plotting on you and talking down and you were actually Nicki. You were Nicki the whole time. That was my favorite thing to see. It was so full circle. It was so year 2024. It was so year of the dragon. It was such an 8-year moment. It was an Aquarius energy. The age of Aquarius is all about accountability and receipts. SAFAREE had to cut out the jean vest to replicate because she had said to him he was negging her. He's with the Nicki Minaj, and he said she didn't look good. This is like an infamous clip. I'm going to see if I can find it for you guys. He said she did not look good. And she immediately clapped back and said, oh, please, you were wearing a jean vest, because she was ever confident, ever empress. Come on. It doesn't matter what anybody says about how you look or what they think you should be. You follow you, and everybody else will catch on to the energy. And now how many people do we see wearing Nicki's wigs, trying to do her style, even from back in the day, even though she's evolved past it? It's iconic. She made a look. She did. She did. She did. Even if she copied her look, she evolved it. Where they say copy like an artist, right? So in any case, he's like negging her, which is a technique done by people that are insecure men or women that don't want you to know that you are as good as you are because they feel insecure next to you. And so he insults her on camera. She claps back immediately. And all these years later, God, I love Destiny. He's sitting at his table worrying about if his Karmic is going to climb up a ladder to try to assault him and kidnap him and harm him. And he's hand cutting out a jean vest so that he can wear it to the concert with the 3 bodyguards that he had to hire so that he could dance to rah rah like a dungeon dragon, when he could have been literally behind the wagon that is Nicki Minaj. I love to see it. That is a Karmic chef's kiss. That's how the angels have you guys. All those years ago when he was talking down to her and she was embarrassed from him and by him, we could tell. God said, Nicki, if you listen to us, we're going to do you so well. And this man right here that's been telling you to go to hell is going to only be allowed to sit all the way up in the nosebleeds at your concert. And you're going to be on stage with your new man. Thank you to your man. She going to sit beside him, fanning your legs out and carrying on, knowing that this man still won't leave you alone. That's what Empress energy will do. You don't have to put a spell. I put a spell on you. You don't have to put a spell on anybody. The light is the spell, actually. Karmics don't have that light. We've all been someone's karmic, so I need you to understand that. But when you're operating in a karmic energy, ERICAMenas in the karmic archetype does not have that energy. And she maybe wanted to have that light and was like, oh, I got him now, Nicki, and what? And what? What did you win? The prize? No. You won a disguise. You won a sham. You won a hoax. You won a joke. You won a jokes. A jokes and a hoax put together. You got nothing. And Nicki's clapback is so funny. She was like, you're welcome. Good for you. Love that for you. I love it for her too. So stop worrying about that. If you are one of those people, maybe we've not worked together, but you've had the story where someone took your man, thank you to your man. Or they took your woman, thank you to your woman. I've had it happen to me, okay? I get it. But I also know that the archetype was ERICAMenas, that it was someone that was crazy, that was operating out of masculine energy, and that masculine energy was going to cannibalize the masculine that I was dealing with, and it was going to make them all crazy. And guess who was out of it? Me. And guess what umbrella I removed from them so that the karma could tag their ass for free? Mine. And guess who's living at the behest of the divine and moving on angelic time instead of demon time? Me. And guess who's still watching me? Them. You see, it is foolproof. If you're an empress, this too is promised to you. And it's part of the hero's journey, if you will, if you've read The Alchemist, okay? We're always transmuting shit, sis. That part. And we want to not be cautionary tales. We want to not be people that we read about in the paper. We want to be unalived by people that we know are not good for us. So even if you've manifested someone who is potentially karmic in your life, identify it quickly and then slide to the right. Hey, slide to the right, okay? Do not stay involved because their whole goal is to bring you down and to drain you. If you notice any toxic behaviors, they're nagging you, they're being disrespectful for you, they're undermining you, they're cheating on you, and you're magical. Do what you need to do. Cut them off, remove your umbrella, and move on to your destiny, which is oh so full. Anyway, that was my little TED Talk. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk about SAFAREE and ERICAMenas and their insanity. Sungo better than Lungo. So before you pick sides, pick a side. They're both not right. But Erica is definitely the karmic woman Archetype. She is exactly what any of those guys that I've ever had to counsel got, or any of those women that have called me in tears because someone got their guy. I wish I could reach out to all of them and be like, please look and stop asking why. This is not going to end the way you think it's going to end. And you got the better end of the deal, my friend, by miles and miles. Anyway, so good sharing energy with you guys. Come back and join me next time. We'll continue to evolve together.